Hey, what's up? Hope you are well, wealthy, and winning. In this video, I want to walk you through 5 myths of millionaires. Now, let's start by talking about what millionaires are not. Because most people think that millionaires are in some way bad, or money is in some way evil, or maybe you shouldn't get too much money. Ever had any of these kind of narratives running subconsciously through your mind? Well, even if you're not aware of it, it's probably true that some of those narratives have stopped you from growing more money in the first place. And the reason that I want to share with you the 5 myths of millionaires is because once you know the myths and you know the actual facts, then it's going to inspire you to accelerate your journey to becoming a millionaire too. So millionaires are not good or bad. Money actually is a spiritual blessing, and you were blessed with an abundant birthright to create, innovate, and leave the world in a better place than how you found it. So once you start to look at money that way, then actually you start to appreciate money, appreciate the blessing, and you start to use money in order to bless more people. Because ultimately that is what it was designed for, in order to bless more people. So let's get into it. What are the 5 myths of millionaires? Number 1 is that they have rich parents. Have you ever had this? You kind of get this assumption that millionaires have rich parents. Maybe they got lucky, maybe they won the lottery, maybe they just fell into money. But the truth is, over 80% of millionaires are first generation self-made. So what does that really mean for you? Well, that means if that they can create millions of pounds by being a first generational millionaire like I have, that means that you can do it too. But it's a blueprint. Once you start to follow the blueprint, you follow the steps, you follow the understanding from the right trainer, the right coach, the right guide, the right mentor, there's more millionaires that are accessible now than ever before. Which means that if they can create millions, you can follow the blueprint and you can create millions too. But here's my question to you. Do you have the dedication, the desire, and the discipline in order to follow it through? So that's myth number 1. Here's golden myth number 2. Well, they must have just got rich quick. Maybe they just fell into some crypto scheme, or maybe money was just thrown into their account somewhat. Or maybe they just got lucky. Maybe they just got into a really good business and got rich super quick. That's not the truth. Well, the truth is that the average millionaire is actually over 60 years old, which means that building millions of pounds takes time. Now, I want to add a little caveat to this, because becoming a millionaire is actually becoming a lot quicker. And I believe that in time, in 10, 20, 30 years time, the average age of a millionaire will continue to get lower and lower. Why do I believe that's true? It's because now live in a digital economy, which means that people are constantly have the opportunity to tap a button, buy something, which means that you have the opportunity for somebody else to tap a button and buy something from you. So there's never been an easier time for people to actually generate income, generate wealth, create more opportunity for themselves, their family, and their community by creating digital currency and actually using their skills to get paid while they sleep. And if you want to find out more about that, check out the previous videos that I've recorded before. The 3rd myth around millionaires, this is a massive one. This is something that holds so many people back, is that, oh man, millionaires, they only care about money. You ever thought this before? Like, I know when I grew up, right, when I was like 9, 10 years old, I had an uncle, and he was like the only person in my family that kind of was assumed to have a lot of money. And every time I would go around there, I'd say like, where is uncle? And they'll say, oh, uncle's not here, he's busy working, he's making money, he's making money, he's making money. And this became a recurring pattern for the next 3 years, and I never really saw this guy. And I grew up with a subconscious belief, believing that, well, if you get money, that means that you'll never have time for your family. So then, like, as I was growing my first business, it's one of the big reasons really where I couldn't hit it beyond 3 million is because I had a subconscious belief around money that money was bad, and if I grew more money then I wouldn't be able to really spend time with my family, and I had a newborn family at the time, and that was what kept me stuck. But if I released that unconscious belief, trust me, I would have got to 5, 6, 7, 8 million much faster in my previous business. And it's probably the same for you. Release that mindset that money is bad and that rich people only care about money, because here's the reality of the situation. Rich people, positively rich people I would say, care about impact. They care about their ability to impact more people and how deeply they can impact people. Now you have to understand that in order to create impact for people, you must create income. It's not like back in the day, right, where people will say, oh, but what about that person from 150 years ago? It's not like that anymore. In order to create an impact, a wide, broad, and powerful impact, you must create the income. Why? To reach the people that you actually want to serve. So for me, a lot of people will say, well, how come you charge for your courses if you're a millionaire? Well, I want to stay one, that's number one, and also, I can serve, but actually after a couple of years of serving without generating money from it, then actually, I would not only be doing myself a disservice and my family, but also I'll be doing them a disservice because I wouldn't be able to add the value and make my programs better and continue to invest in those opportunities in order to make people get bigger, better, and faster transformations. And also, I wouldn't be able to reach the amount of people that I'm able to reach, and it's the same for you. So think of money as a spiritual blessing that can bless you and everybody around you. Here's a quote to remember. When one wise person becomes wealthy, everybody around them becomes wealthy. Here's myth number 4 that also relates to the previous one, is that millionaires are always working, they're always running against the tide. But you have to think about work differently, because I don't really like that term work. What is that? For example, if I'm in the gym and I'm working out and I'm thinking of some creative ideas about content to put on YouTube and I write down a couple of notes, am I working or am I working out? You know, if I'm sitting there and I'm kind of like driving my car but I'm listening to an audio book, or I'm listening to Alex Hormozy or a Jim Rohn or somebody that's going to inspire me, am I working or am I just driving? You know, I remember, just a little side note, I remember when I was in my 20s, when I used to go raving with my friends, I would be the one playing Jim Rohn, playing Brian Tracy in the car, because I'm elevating my mind. They're like, hey man, where's the hip hop? I'm like, listen, you better hop out my car if you ain't ready to listen to personal development. And that's exactly what happened. So I had some really cool friends and we used to ride to the raves and listen to Jim Rohn. Anyway, here's the truth about that. Millionaires are not necessarily always working, but they are always creating. They're always finding new ways to create new ideas, new income streams, new innovative ways to add even more value to their clients, customers, and the people that they want to serve. Because they're really committed and they're really driven by this inspiration to impact people and to really elevate people to the next level of their success and opportunity. And here's myth number 5. Millionaires are flashy, aren't they? They always drive around in the Lamborghini, the Rolls Royces, etc. But that is also a myth. It's not true. Most millionaires drive average cars, live average lives, and just like live life more frequently on their terms. You know, not every millionaire, in fact, most millionaires aren't really flashy. Most of them are conceited. Most of them are the ones that you just see in a Toyota Prius driving around Tesco and doing their thing. Why is that true? Because most millionaires actually, they don't flash their wealth. They understand how to utilize money. I used to like really get triggered and I used to really misunderstand. When I moved to this area where I live now, where it's like massive £2-3 million houses every single place around me, I think like, why have they even got a Toyota in the drive? That's weird to me. Like, I grew up believing, you know, if you have a nice house, you have to have a nice car to match it. This is normal, right? But it's not to say that having a nice car or whatever is right or wrong, but now I understand it differently, because they want to put their money in places that's going to provide more opportunity, that's going to create more money for them. Those kind of people, a lot of them just think that they just understand that cars are a liability. Now, here's where I am, right? I understand that cars are a liability. I understand that some flashy goods are a liability. And for me, it's not about showing off, but it's really about showing out. Because I understand that, especially for a lot of people in my community, that they really resonate to things that are desirable, material things that are desirable. And material things are good. Again, all of these things are spiritual blessings, right? And that were created and innovated by us for us to utilize in order to show success to other people. So for me, it's about, yes, I do show flashy stuff sometimes, but I really want to show people what's possible when you put your mind to whatever it is that you want to achieve. And it's really easier to do that for a lot of people because people really see things visually. Really easier to do that when people see material stuff and want to attain to it. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, let me show you the steps in order to accelerate your success so that you too can have whatever it is that you want, need, and desire in your life. So look, I hope that's found useful to you. Let me ask you a question. Which one of those 5 myths stood out most for you? Drop a comment below and make sure that you like this video if you want to see more of this type of content, and then subscribe if you want to make sure that you don't miss out on another special video. If you want to find out more, not only about how to become a millionaire and how to accelerate your journey to get there, but what are the steps in order to really scale your income, your opportunity, and your wealth, if you want to find out more about how to do that successfully, then I'd love to invite you to join my free training. So tap the link below and I look forward to seeing you there. My name's Jazz Rose. Stay well, stay wealthy, and stay winning. Blessings!